What can't we do?
Well, you're gonna have to vote to
On?
continue.
Again, we should announce that up front, so I would do it now.
Okay, we want to
Testing.
just make a few announcements
Testing.
here before we start. Let's take care of what's not going to happen tonight. Elizabeth, can you guys fill us in on that?
You wanna move items that can't be voted on to future meetings first?
Correct.
Okay. Did you want to call to order? Did you call to order already?
I haven't called anything. I just want to get an idea so people aren't, just
Okay.
informational for people that if
Well,
it's,
any
if it's
special
being
permit-
continued, just so you know.
Any special permit or any, city council petition can't be voted on tonight with only 5 members. We need a 6-member board for that.
But we can open the hearing for them?
The attorney's here.
Yes.
Yes, Amy Questle with.
Hi, Amy. Hi.
You can open the hearing and continue it. You just can't make the actual recommendation because you need 6 people.
Great. Thank you. Okay, there we go.
That's 4.1.
It's 4.1. It's also, right.
There was also changes from the building commissioner, so
Yeah, I mean, less than that,
bring
because
also.
I can't vote on 12.1.
So that one can't, that's 6.2.
That two
Okay.
contracts.
All right, it's 6:30. We want to call the Leominster Planning Board meeting in order. And we're looking at the first hearing, 6:30, public hearing, public informational meeting for site plan application for 321 Litchfield Street, map 441, parcel 82, two-family residential dwelling. Chris? Yeah, I think on this one, yeah. It doesn't need a special permit. You all set, Chris?
Yes. Alrighty. For the record, Chris Anderson, Hanning Engineering. Here before you tonight for a site plan approval for 5 duplex structures at 321 Litchfield Street. We were before the board last month relative to this, and we pretty much left it off at reviewing the roundabout design compared to the proposed driveway location, as well as getting the definition of a two-family structure on a lot. So we did receive K&P Law's determination, which fell in line with what we were arguing at the last meeting, that for a two-family structure, you need 12,500 square feet for a buildable lot. More than one building on a lot, triggers site plan approval. They also brought up, to that effect, section 2.3 of the subdivision regulations, which also touches into more than 2 buildings on a lot, but it's more relative to access, which I can go over in a moment. Since the last meeting, we had a conversation with Sergeant Robichaud. He is the traffic sergeant for the city's police department, and reviewed the layout of the driveway compared to the proposed improvements that the DOT will be making in the coming months. If there's any questions, just stop me. I'm going to be kind of bouncing back and forth between plans.
Do you want me to read his letter?
If you would like on this record, otherwise I can go through this comment.
Let's read it into the record so we have it. I mean, I'll try to paraphrase some of it. I met with Mr. Anderson and Mr. Hannigan this afternoon and went over the plans. They presented the project with the current road layout along with the future layout currently being built by Mass DOT. With the current layout, he was concerned that vehicles turning from Central Street onto Litchfield Street would be traveling too fast to have a proper reaction time and stopping distance approaching their proposed driveway. Mr. Anderson explained how the Mass DOT design would expand and straighten the turn and also narrow the roadway. With the road and sidewalk alterations that are currently being made by Mass DOT, it appears to me that the new design will slow traffic down more effectively. So also concerned about sight lines to the south of their driveway, looking towards Central. Any obstruction would decrease the available reaction time for drivers attempting to exit the driveway of their project, increasing the chances of a crash. I noted that the plans showed 2 trees on their property. Mr. Anderson and Mr. Hannigan explained that Mass DOT is very strict on what they allow in their right-of-way, and it's unlikely they would approve of anything that would obstruct a driver's sight line. They stated that the tree on their property on the plan was shown because it is pre-existing and was due to be removed. The other tree was likely to be removed by Mass DOT. They explained that the planned landscaping on their property adjacent to the road and driveway would be reviewed and referenced a sight line triangle. They stated it could be designed not to exceed a certain height so as to maintain the ability for drivers to see over it. They also stated that the new sidewalk design helps to keep the sight line clear, and there were no plans for any signs, poles, or lights. They then reviewed the emergency vehicle turnaround. I noted that it was in front of one of the units and likely to be used as parking. They stated that the pavement would be marked and signs put up stated no parking. I informed them for enforcement purposes it would be better to designate it a fire lane. Police can enforce a fire lane by ordinance, but have no authority over no parking on private property. They stated they could make the change. After reviewing the plans with them and discussing the changes, I still have concerns about having this many housing units built with only one access point so close to a busy intersection. However, I feel they have done what they can to mitigate traffic concerns for this project. We all agree that this is a high-traffic area and has a history of vehicle crashes. I no longer recommend a traffic study. The data would not show us anything we don't already know. I will await the revised plans and give comments once they are presented. So you gave them revised plans, I'm assuming.
Yes, so let me go through the process that we reviewed with Sergeant Robichaud, just so that the board is aware of what conversations did happen offline, if you will. So up on the boards right now is the actual design plans for Mass DOT. This is what's going to be built in the next coming months. At the previous meeting, it was requested that these plans be provided to the board so you can see what's going on. Unfortunately, this is a very busy plan because it is a construction plan set for DOT. But you can see I did mark out the location of the project access drive as it currently sits right now. From there, I effectively overlaid the proposed roundabout relative to the actual driveway to show how it all interacts. So as you can see, and I was trying to explain to this at the last meeting, but I think it kind of got lost in nomenclature and whatnot. But the driveway is located well outside the 2 turning lanes coming in and out of the rotary. It's set as far back as practical on the lot because that's all we have for land use area. And it pushes it outside of the landscape island that's going to be constructed between the 2 lanes coming in and off. So as you can see, what the roundabout also does is it primarily helps reduce the speed going through a roundabout. Typically, DOT has a design speed of 25 miles an hour. If you were to go there right now and drive through this intersection, people are definitely going well above the documented speed limit. So the roundabout's going to slow down the traffic coming through this area. In addition to that, it also limits the number of vehicle interactions that can occur from this driveway. So as the intersection is currently designed, you have effectively 4 vehicles coming into this, or conflicts, if you will. At the intersection, you have Litchfield going into the site, effectively crossing Route 12, and then you have the Route 12 traffic pulling onto Litchfield Street. So you have 3 potential vehicles to look at as you stare left towards the intersection, and then the one going right as you go further past the site away from the intersection. What the roundabout does, it limits that down to 2. You only have the northbound leg going off of Litchfield Street. That's one point to look at, and as well as the right-hand turn coming off of the site as well. So now we're down to 2. The right side has a clear line of sight, and what we also reviewed with Sergeant Robichaud was the sight line coming from our driveway towards the roundabout. So we did provide a small sketch. I don't know if the board has an opportunity to look at that. I do have copies of it, but that does show the sightline triangle for the roundabout leg coming onto Litchfield Street. If the board would like, I can hand out a few copies of that.
I mean, it's tough for us to see, Chris. What about the concerns with the fire department for the emergency turnarounds?
So, as discussed at the last meeting, we did expand upon the turnaround area to accommodate the larger vehicles. That included extending the turnaround, or turnoff area to allow for the vehicle to be fully pulled off of the drive lane so that vehicles can keep passing and repassing through the area. In addition to that, additional markings and signage dictating that there's no parking allowed in these areas. Following our conversations with Sergeant Robichaud, we also are going to put the designation as a fire lane so that nobody can park there, and if they do, it's now an enforceable offense.
What's the distance from the driveway entrance to the island, approximately? Yeah,
It's about 40 feet.
is that enough room for people to take a left out of the driveway?
Yes. So that, the area outside of that island is just going to be striping, and people can pass and repass over that.
Other questions from members?
I'm a little confused about the orientation on this, to the top left, to the northwest side of the rotary, that says access to 740 Central?
Oh, I'm sorry. This one?
Yeah.
So that's actually to the gas
That's the
station.
gas
That's a
station.
gas
Yeah.
station.
Yeah.
And I would also note that a gas station typically has orders of magnitude more traffic than what our site's going to experience. Our office has been involved with several gas stations, and typically they range anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 trips a day, just to put that into perspective.
Chris, are they gonna get rid of the no left turn, I mean,
Can't go left.
they can't go left because they're extending the island? Is that what DOT's doing with the rotary? Because they're not supposed to go left now, but they go left. Everybody goes left
As
into
you-
the gas station,
Because you can.
because you can. So what prevents that from happening?
No, out of the gas station.
Out of the gas station.
But with this extended
So that's
thing, they won't be
extended,
able to
right?
go left.
That's an extended island compared to what's there today.
Yes.
Because island's
Do you know how many feet that extends by any
I-
chance?
accurate. The island's gotta be 100 feet long.
Is
That's
this,
40. Probably 80 feet.
Okay,
Gonna be busy.
it is gonna be busy. Other questions from the board?
this is accurate, right? The length of these islands? I mean,
Yes. As a direct overlay from the DOT plans. And that island would be about 100 feet long or so.
so I initially thought
I do,
this
I
was
do.
the driveway to.
I'm gonna read it to the record, yeah.
The driveway's way down here.
Right.
They won't be able to, they can now.
Yep.
If I could
It's
find
an
it.
improvement, actually.
Thank you. I know I have it right here. Okay, I have another letter that wants to be written into the record. This one is from David Rowlands, Planning Board. I was intrigued by the discussion at the Planning Board on 7/20/26 around two-family and multifamily projects, especially with regard to the two different projects of two-family buildings and how they chose different paths for zoning approval. My curiosity led me to the following conclusions. General problem in Leominster zoning is there is no mechanism for a multifamily apartment complex that is made up of two dwelling unit buildings. In zones where multifamily units are allowed, you can have multifamily buildings, 3 or more dwelling units, and you can have, I don't know how many buildings, provided that all the other conditions are met for each building, setback, et cetera. A building with 2 dwelling units is a two-family, and that requires 12,500 square feet. It's not a multifamily under our current zoning. I believe that is the root of the problem in the discussion the other night. I still think the definition of MGL Chapter 48 Section 1A has the potential to clear things up. You want me to read that? Okay. This is Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 1A. Multifamily housing, a building with 3 or more residential dwelling units, or 2 or more buildings on the same lot with more than 1 residential building unit in each building. In a multifamily complex, you can potentially have multiple buildings, and those buildings under state law can have 2 or more dwelling units. This was the definition that Anthony was trying to represent in his presentation. I think it matches that definition with the state level. I think this is more accurate representation because it truly is a multifamily project. A multifamily complex made up of 2 family buildings. I don't believe the other project's interpretation of the current zoning is accurate. The one that means that you can have any number 2-unit buildings on a 2-family site of 12,500 square feet if setbacks are met. We don't interpret single-family or any other zoning that way. In other words, trying to use a 2-family zoning to create a multifamily complex consisting of 5 2-family buildings doesn't make sense, and the current zoning definitions do not allow this. As a side note, the density is not specified because it is implicit in the definition. 2 families on 12,500 square feet means a density of 6,250 per unit because we know the unit count. Multifamily has to specify the unit density because the unit count is a variable that can be 3 to whatever, I don't know. 3 to what? 3 to N. On the surface, I think the MGL definition of multifamily housing should replace Leominster's current definitions. Of course, it would require a review of current zoning to understand all the potential impacts that this may cause, and that needs to happen. But it does seem to make sense that where multifamily development is allowed, we should not force developers to have to create 3-unit buildings when it may make more sense to have 2-unit buildings. I believe this change, especially if initiated by the Planning Department, Planning Board, could happen pretty quickly and potentially clear up these projects and potentially others in the city, especially at a time when we hear so often about housing needs. Okay, so that was from David Rowlands. Any comment on that?
Yeah, there was a lot of math
There was.
in that.
Yep.
That went over my head.
Well, I think you gotta sit back and look at how, we had 2 different concepts presented to us with the same real, excuse me, same real outcome.
Yep.
How do we do it right? That's what it is.
So that makes sense.
So, yeah, it made a lot of sense, actually. So I don't know if we want to take a look at doing that with, keeping these projects consistent. The way Anthony had presented his project was consistent, I believe, with what this was all about. So, okay. Anyone else on the board have anything else to say? How about members in the audience? Anyone have any questions before I close the hearing?
Well, before you do, Chris, you have 20 parking spaces?
Correct.
Are you using the garages as parking spaces?
The garages do count towards the parking spaces.
But you can't though.
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
Since when?
Since it says so in the zoning.
Did they
We
change
were
it?
always, no, we were always, asked for the others, but no, they can count that as an actual parking space there.
Okay.
Yep.
I always thought you could.
It was, no, I know.
But you're not counting the space in front of the garage.
There's only
Correct.
one. There's one with, the first one on the right has 2 spots, right?
They have 2 spots, one on either side of the garage, as well as the garage, or if they want to, they can consider the spot directly in front of the garage.
I think that's what we talked about last meeting, was that if you counted the space in front of the garage, then you can't count the garage, because you can't.
But at that point, I have a spot on,
But if you,
They always
Have
have
you
them in
used
front
the
of
garage if you
This
don't
one
use the
does
spot?
on floor of the building.
For the building, it's just the garage.
I was looking at it this afternoon going, well, where?
and so that was the interpretation we talked about last.
So, before we close on this, we can't vote on this later in the evening anyway, right?
Yes, you
Yeah,
can,
we
it's a
can
site
vote
plan.
on this one. This doesn't require,
You can.
this doesn't require a special permit.
Only the special permits, or the city council, petitions that we can't vote on.
So based on Mr. Rowland's letter, do we have a question about whether state supersedes our zoning?
I think it's more of a matter of interpretation, and,
I would, yeah, I
yeah.
would defer to
Andy,
KP Law on
Can you
this.
help on that one?
We can turn the lawyer in the house.
It is a question of interpretation, yes,
Yeah.
and I think it's reasonable.
And is it reasonable enough we shouldn't proceed with this project?
No, that's not what I'm saying is reasonable. The interpretation that was made is
It was
reasonable.
reasonable, right.
They both are.
Exactly,
Well, they both,
but,
right, but they both went at it in different directions.
One says multifamily, the other one says two-family.
exactly.
So there's nothing that
Two-family or
prevents us from
multifamily
continuing.
also.
Not in my opinion, no.
It's a judgment call on our part, case by case, whether we want it to be two-family or multifamily.
Right, so your zoning ordinance, you know, I guess I would say, you wanna look at your zoning ordinance,
Right.
and that's what you should go with. And, you know, he makes a very good point about 40A and the definition of 1A, but,
In the future, we should maybe look
maybe we can look at your zoning ordinance.
And
Get
redo,
them to,
And we need to figure
Get
out
them
how
to
we want to
match.
apply it.
Yeah.
We need to
But you
apply it
do-
consistently.
you do have,
we can vote on this. Still.
you do have two, you know, you have multiple structures with two or more dwelling units on them in this.
Before you close, Chris, just remind me, waivers you're requesting and any outstanding department head comments.
So we did receive a comment this afternoon from Fire relative to the driveway width opening. Design's 18 feet. We can easily increase that to 20 feet without issue, so I don't see an issue with that comment. Relative to the waiver request,
It was the landscape.
There's,
and
yeah.
the landscaping.
22.62.3.1 for landscaping, 58.6 for the candle with lighting. And then there were,
Those were the only two. The landscape plan being waived, as prepared for our landscape architect, and the strict compliance with the 1-foot candle rule.
And fire has now resolved their concern, police have resolved their concern, there were no other outstanding department head comments.
Correct.
there's, the stack of department head comments is, it says original comments.
Yep, I saw them, but I didn't
You got-
see anything outstanding, I'm just making
Okay.
sure there's nothing we haven't addressed before we close the hearing. Is that correct? Nothing we haven't addressed?
well, we have the department heads reviews.
Yeah,
We'll
I went
enter
through-
those at the appropriate time, right?
Yeah, but based on our response on July 6th, I think we addressed everything. I think
Okay.
the biggest outliers were the police department and the fire, which we addressed offline, if you will.
And no reason not to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to close the hearing, seconded, motion made by Paul, seconded by
Motion by Tom, second by.
Tom, seconded by Paul. Take a vote. What do you say? All those who approve?
Are we voting on the?
Closing the hearing.
Closing the hearing.
Yeah, just the hearing.
Aye.
All those against? Okay, the motion moves forward, and the hearing is closed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
We'll be back soon.
Okay, 6:35, public hearing, public informational meeting for site plan application for 396 Main Street, map 239, parcel 8, multifamily residential. I think that's you, Anthony.
He's a multifamily.
He's
Yes, You're
multifamily.
the opposite side of the coin.
Oh, it's on the bottom.
Yes. Okay, anytime, you ready?
So while Dan's just gonna put it up on the
Oh,
on the
good.
screen for you, we have
Yep,
it
thank you.
electronically tonight. Before we get going, did you, procedurally, we also have on the agenda the special permit, so we have the special permit and site plan. Are we,
We can't vote.
well, so that
We can
was,
open the hearing, but
We can open the hearing.
Because that was part of the discussion, is
Right.
we'll get into it, but, yeah, so I guess you might want to open that hearing then too.
6:36, opening the continued public hearing for a special permit use multifamily application for 396 Main Street, map 239, parcel 8, multifamily residential.
So as we get into that, my name is Anthony Cleaves, I'm with Haley Ward, design engineers and surveyors for the project. Also with me is Dan Sheehan from Haley Ward, and also in the audience is Jeff and Rebecca Duval, property owners. So as we're getting that set up, similar to the project you just had before you, we had two major outstanding items. One was interpretation of the zoning as it applies to lot area and multifamily, and also traffic was kind of the major outstanding department head comment. So I guess don't need a plan to kind of get into the discussion on the interpretation of the zoning. So KP Law was reached out to have an opinion as it pertains to multifamily and two families, duplexes.
I can read that into the record, Anthony, if you want.
Whatever, I mean, however you want to proceed,
Want me to do it right now so we can keep it clean?
if you'd like to, sure.
Okay, this is from KP Law, 396 Main Street. For the reasons explained above, this project complies with the 12,500 square foot lot size requirement for two-family uses and requires site plan approval for more than one building on a lot, and consent from the planning board pursuant to section 2.3 of the subdivision regulations for more than one building to be used for dwelling purposes on the lot. That was from our attorney, KP Law.
So as I understand that interpretation, and that's why I guess open for discussion, it sounds like we don't need a special permit anymore. As the project that you just heard before, you did not need one due to that. We were filing a special permit under that multifamily section. It sounds like this is being considered under the two-family, which doesn't require a special permit. So I figure procedurally, that would be a good place to start, to see what we need to do. I mean, we followed for one anyways, but procedurally, we want to make sure we're consistent with interpretation and zoning, and if need be, we can withdraw the special permit if that's procedurally the right way to go. So we figured we can start with that discussion.
That's a good place. Amy, you have any wisdom for us on that one?
Thank you, Amy Questle, City Solicitor. Again, I think I agree with the applicant that
Withdraw.
because of the interpretation that we've already made on the previous one, he would not need a special permit for this one.
So you would like to take that back?
Yeah, so if there's no need to go through a special permit, then it would make sense for us to withdraw without prejudice that special permit application.
Does he need a letter to you on that, Elizabeth?
It'd be good to have it in an email follow-up with it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. And we can,
Vote to accept the,
we have to vote for the motion to withdraw. Yep,
there's no public hearing notice.
yep. Thank you.
So let's continue on the public hearing, the public information meeting for the site plan.
Right. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna move, oh, can anybody want to make that motion for the special permit?
Moving the first one first.
Let's continue the hearing.
Let's continue the hearing, okay.
Public information.
Okay, let's continue the hearings. 396 Main Street,
So we're continuing hearings?
No, not the hearing.
not
Public
the
information.
public informational.
Okay,
First.
Yeah, the public information, not the hearing for the special permit. Well, when we get to that, we'll close it out.
okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
You think it's easy? when-
no, I don't. No, sometimes I think it's easier on this side
Oh,
than that
jeez.
side, for
The
sure.
paper we have when we came in here, not all.
Okay, so that was the one major point. The other major point was discussion on traffic. And if you'd like to, as you just did in the previous project, if you'd like to read into record Sergeant's comments, I think he did a great job summarizing the
Yeah.
meeting that we had with the police department. So that's a,
I just gotta get to it. Let me just find it.
bigger desk.
On my second package, lost my first.
Do you want it? It's dated August 11th.
Yeah, no, I got two of them, August 11th.
You can have mine, Sal. You want?
I think I got it. This one. I got it. Thanks, Paul. Thank you, guys. Everybody's so helpful. Okay, this is from our traffic officer at the Leominster Police, Sergeant Robichaud. He's the supervisor. And this was a response to Elizabeth Wood. Good afternoon, Ms. Wood. I met with Mr. Sheehan, Mr. Cleaves, and Mr. Duval this afternoon and went over the plans. The site is located on the inside of a curve and close to a dangerous intersection. I was concerned that vehicles exiting their proposed driveway or traveling southwest on Main Street would not have enough sightline distance for a proper reaction time and stopping distance approaching their proposed driveway. Also, drivers exiting the driveway would have a limited sight distance to judge traffic while trying to enter Main Street. They explained that there is very little that can be done to improve the roadway or sight lines outside of their property, but they have taken some steps to make the proposed driveway as safe as possible. I was primarily concerned about sight lines to the northeast of their driveway looking towards Hawes Street. Any obstruction would decrease the available reaction time for drivers attempting to exit the driveway of their project, increasing the chances of a crash. The plans show 4 trees on their property adjacent to the road in the proposed driveway, 2 of which are in the northeast sightline triangle. They explained that the trees on their plan were shown because it is a landscaping requirement. They explained that the planned landscaping on their property adjacent to the road and driveway would be reviewed and reference a sightline triangle. They stated the trees could be replaced by some other landscaping designed not to exceed a certain height so as to maintain the ability for drivers to see over it. They also stated that there were no plans for any signs, poles, or lights to be placed in that area. I asked about the elevation of the driveway. They stated it would be slightly above the grade of Main Street. This is good since it helps the visibility of drivers attempting to exit the driveway. They were reluctant to consider connecting the project to the existing driveway in the E.T. Duval property for a variety of reasons. We then reviewed the parking plan for the project. I noted that it was at the minimum required per ordinance at 1.5 spaces per unit. I informed them that, in my experience, 2-bedroom units are typically occupied to 2 to 3 people and have 2 cars. I explained that there was no overflow parking planned, none conveniently nearby, and that the residents and guests would likely end up parking on the street. Currently, that's not an issue, but it would become a traffic hazard if it were to happen. I went on to explain that most likely there would be a no parking zone established for that part of Main Street, which would affect the residents if they planned on street parking. They agreed that it would be a traffic issue if residents began parking on that section of Main Street and discussed proactively posting signs. They also suggested adding a stop line to the driveway at the exit to Main Street. After reviewing the plans with them and discussing the changes, I still have concerns about having this many housing units built with only one access point so close to a busy intersection. However, I feel they have done what they can to mitigate traffic concerns while maintaining the existing plan for this project. We all agree that this is a high traffic area and it has a history of vehicle crashes. I no longer recommend a traffic study. The data would not show us anything we don't already know. I will await the revised plans and give comments once they are presented. Sergeant Robichaud, Traffic Supervisor, Leominster Police Department. Okay, that's in the record.
So I apologize for having difficulty
It's
getting up
okay.
on the screen. I'm not quite sure why that's not going right up there, but
Anthony, is there a button behind the TV? Sometimes they go behind the TV.
behind the TV?
Yeah, I don't know why, but a couple of times they find the TV.
There's a button in the middle.
I can
Where is it?
make sure you're back in.
Yeah, we got it last week. Right here?
I think it's up higher below the logo.
Back in. So I got,
Something working? I don't see it.
okay.
So Sergeant Robichaud expressed concern about overflow parking.
Yep, I mean, we meet zoning, and so, what we discussed on that, I think as he mentioned in there, one of his concerns would be if people would end up wanting to park on the street, on Main Street. So we were in favor of putting in no parking signs, along that, along our frontage of.
There'll be no room for them to park anyway, there's a lane.
No, right, but I mean, I think it's
But
just
people
another,
could park on the side of the road there, that's for sure.
you know, it's a way
Yeah, I know
then
it.
to help
I
the
know.
city enforce it. And you
Yeah.
have a sign, a no parking sign there, so we had no objection to that whatsoever. And that would be one of the updates we would put to the plans. We would show a no parking sign on either side of basically our entrance driveway. And so we have no issues with that. Thought that was a great comment. We also discussed putting in a stop, excuse me, a stop line on our driveway, just to help emphasize for people, you should be stopping before you go out onto Main Street. So he had no issue with that. I think the bigger comment, or what we thought was a great outcome from our meeting, is we're gonna show on our plan, basically show a hatched area. As you come out of the driveway and look left, we're gonna show a hatched area to have no site obstructions there. We had proposed 2 trees in that area, concern being that's the area that the sight line is the least. We still meet Mass DOT standards, but if you have a tree there, if you have a sign there, if you have a bush there, in time, that could obstruct the vision. So he seemed to support having basically no site obstruction on that part of the property. So we would remove that, we had proposed 2 trees there, so we're gonna remove those. For there, we leave the trees on the other side, because looking
To the
right
right
as you're
doesn't
coming
matter.
up, you can see over 1,000 feet. So along that line, one of the comments that was made at the last meeting was to make sure that we included provisions for a centralized mailbox. I
Right.
believe Mr. Souza had brought that up, which is a great comment. So that helped shape where we're gonna put that. We're gonna put it on the side of the driveway where it wouldn't impede any sight distance.
Would that be in the back or?
No, it would still be in the
That'd be
front,
up
you know, so that.
So
mail-
the side opposite the trees, where the trees were gonna be,
No, so on the side.
the trees,
So we don't want a mailbox there either, because if that, it's gonna be up above.
well, I mean, no, across from that, right?
Yes,
To the
across,
right.
yeah, exactly. So in the portion of the project that there is no visibility issues with sight distance, so it,
Have you talked to the postmaster at all?
not yet. No, not yet. So that would be something that we would follow up with them as normal course. You know, they would, usually, if they don't wanna have to drive into a project, if they don't have to.
No, well, you know, it's kind of something we've come to agreement with them on. All new developments and all new, you know, things of any size,
Yep,
you know, we're requiring that now as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
yeah,
So,
so,
you know, it's meeting with them, it's,
yeah, they basically.
they only have so many people to go around
No,
these
and they-
days.
And they control it, you know, they'll dictate the number of boxes, actually. I think you need like once you get a certain amount of mailboxes, you're required to have a certain amount of package size mailboxes, so that they get into those
Yep.
specifics, but, you
The
know, we can.
dimensions. And he
that
can
could be
give
a
you,
con-
Anthony, he can give you the dimensions
Oh,
of,
absolutely.
of the standard.
So that could be a nice conditional approval, to make sure that we, you know, coordinate with the postmaster. We're not there yet, but,
Yeah.
Do we have a copy of the plan? I know we had a last meeting, but is there anything in paper? I know you were supposed to have it up there.
Yeah,
Do we have anything?
we didn't get a new one.
well, there isn't a new one. So that was, so how we left last meeting was, we weren't gonna make any changes because we didn't know where things were gonna be going. And so we're not looking to close the hearing tonight, to be fully upfront with you. We wanted to get these big discussion items out here, because those would impact where we go from here. So where we would like to go from here is continue on with the layout that we have, adding the provisions that we discussed with the police department, removing the trees that would impact sightline, showing the mailbox on the other side where it would impact sightline, showing no parking signs along Main Street, adding a stop line, and then also adding some of the minor comments that came up, for example, from DPW about adding a manhole, and kind of do one sweeping encompassing round of revisions, get that back out to the plan department so it can be put back out to the department heads, and hopefully get comments that say, yep, addressed.
So, I'm sorry, Paul. So you're asking for a continuance on this?
Yes, we will be, but wanted to obviously have this opportunity to bring up if there's anything else. It sounds like we're heading towards a path to be able to kind of address everything.
You know what, Anthony, what I'll do, which I usually don't do until we get into the meat of the vote, I'll read the department head comments, so that
We can, I mean, we
you
did it
know
last time too.
they're all resolved. So you're gonna,
We read them last time.
Yes.
And our intention is to address all of them, honestly.
and that's gonna come forward.
And then we would follow that up,
Yep.
so that they would have an opportunity to review that. I think specifically for the fire and police department, because I think those are the ones that would be important for them, just to kind of make sure what we show is adequate for them.
Remind me, are you done with conservation?
Nope, so we've submitted with them, we had one hearing, we continued the next one because we wanted to make sure we got further along with the planning board before we go back with them. So I suspect we'll probably close out with them, hopefully, once we have a revised plan to the board that we all feel like it's probably gonna be pretty well accepted, because we're gonna just try and address as many comments as we can. So no, we haven't. We'll end up closing out with them. I'm not sure the timing will work. Could be before or just after this board.
You'd mentioned DPW, police and fire. I think that covers all of the
Board of Health.
lighting from the Board of Health.
Yep, so the Board of Health, it was a dumpster
And
requirement.
lighting.
Yep, and the lighting, so the dumpster, yep, we're gonna, now that we know that the project's gonna probably be more of a homeowners association, gonna add a dumpster for that, and that's gonna coincide with the turnaround for the fire department. Lighting, we would have to adhere to the city's lighting code, where you can't have any light go beyond property lines and things like that, and dark sky compliance, so that's a standard.
So these are condos, not apartments?
Yeah, they're probably
And they
gonna
sold.
go that route to being condos, yeah.
Okay. And just to be clear, I know you meet zoning with
Yep.
the 1.5 spaces.
Correct.
And you don't have overflow
No.
parking.
No,
Is the driveway big enough for them to park in front of their unit?
not by code. It's about a 16-foot depth, my recollection, and technically a parking space is 18.
So how are you gonna control that?
Because they can't park on Main Street, obviously.
Right. I mean, how are you gonna control visitors, and, I mean, is there any plan for them to park anywhere?
Well, they could park in front of, they could physically park in front of the garage,
Right.
and you can get by. So it just is it an 18-foot depth to meet the definition of a parking space?
I mean, you made a
Right.
good point where
No, but
two
they will.
bedrooms, 2 cars sometimes.
Right.
You know, 2
Yep,
people
but I mean,
living in
it's-
them,
it's-
2 cars, so.
Hey,
where
one
is that
bedroom,
on
2 cars.
the car?
One
Yep, so
bedroom is a 2-car.
So the reality is people will park in front of the garages when they need to, yeah.
Yeah.
And refresh my memory, any waiver requests?
It'll be the,
Landscaping.
The
typical-
landscape architect,
yep, the
which is in every
landscape.
project?
So I think it's, my recollection, there was not,
And we should really change the zoning for that?
I don't recall offhand anything else that we would need to ask for a waiver
So
on.
each one has a garage. They're 1-car garages, right, Anthony?
Correct,
And each unit has one.
yes.
Plus the spacer.
And we had some spaces outside the units, intermingled.
That was just to meet the requirement?
Yeah,
Are those
make sure-
assigned to
make sure we
units?
met zoning.
Well,
Yeah.
you had one that was a little bit bigger, if I remember correctly.
No, we had 14 spaces needed, we had 14 spaces provided.
And everyone gets a driveway.
Everyone has
I
a
mean, a garage,
garage.
excuse me.
Correct. Everyone has a garage, and then there are 5 additional spaces to make up that. So it would be for anybody, presumably, to do that. Plus, again, there's 16 feet in front of the garages, 24-foot wide aisle. So you could fit people will probably be parking in front of the garages for that, so.
Don't tell the fire department.
Well, fire department only needs a 20-foot width, so we have 24. So you take away 2 feet from each side, that's 18, you still have a 20-foot width. So it still meets public safety standards.
I'm going from memory, there was a conversation about the slope at the end of the road. and-
Yeah, so there's a slope out back, fairly
you're
steep
working
slope
out
that
with
goes
the-
down to the wetlands.
And snow removal, and is that what you're working out with conservation?
That was one of the comments the conservation had was, to do what we can to try and avoid having the snow wander
Melt
down
into the river.
toward the wetland. So what we discussed, we were going to look at doing in the next round of revisions is trying to pitch that area towards the parking lot instead of pitching it to the back, so that any snow or snow melt that could be dirty would drain back into the stormwater system, which does have a treatment component to that. So that was one of the changes we're going to look at trying to accommodate to.
And you had enough snow storage
Yes.
space on the plan itself?
Yep.
If I remember right.
Correct.
It's just
Yeah,
the
we
sloping in
needed,
the back. Yeah.
We needed 415 square feet. We showed 1,705.
If they have to truck it off later, they truck it off.
So, but yeah, so again, we'd be asking for a continuance, wanted to get as much information here as we could. Again, the zoning interpretation and traffic were the big ones, so we knew, don't need a traffic study, we kind of worked out some of the concerns there, and then it's just procedurally. So I guess, let me follow up on that. The way we had set up this layout was more, adding more area to the lot to satisfy density requirements for the special permit and so on. So with the recent interpretation of the zoning, we really only need 12,500 square feet of lot area. So the proposed lot lines that we showed for a future A&R plan, we'll probably adjust those to bring it smaller and not take as much property away from the existing business. It'll be more than 12,500 square feet, because we're gonna need more to accommodate that. But just to let you know, that will be one of the things we're gonna be updating as well. So,
Anybody else have any questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? Okay, we need a
And I
motion.
move to continue the hearing, when's our next, September what?
September 21st
Do we
at
have
6:30.
Okay, September 21st, 6:30?
Second,
Okay, motion made by Paul, seconded by Tom to continue to 9/21 at 6:30.
And just to be clear, this is a motion on the site plan application,
second.
Correct,
special permit.
correct. Well, we're going to deal with that right now. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Continued,
Attorney
Anthony.
Questle, any reason we can't close the special permit hearing? since
We
we're
can,
gonna vote on it?
right? That's what we're going to do. Oh, he'll withdraw, no,
Don't
he's,
close it until you
That's
accept the
right.
withdrawal.
Okay, so we should continue it now, or we
No,
should just do
just
nothing?
right now, accept the withdrawal right now, and then
Okay.
close it and you're done with it.
Yep.
then I
So
would-
again, for the record, on behalf of Jeff and Rebecca Duval, we respectfully request to withdraw the special permit application without prejudice.
And I
for
would move to
396
accept
Main
that
Street.
without prejudice.
I'll second.
to move to withdraw without prejudice by Paul, seconded by Tom. Anthony, you will get a letter to Elizabeth
I'll send an email tomorrow.
so that we have formal documentation. Okay? All right, motion made. All those who approve?
Aye. And now we have.
Don't
to close the
approve?
hearing, and now a motion to close the hearing on the special.
Okay. Paul made the motion.
Second.
Tom, motion to close the hearing. All those who approve?
Aye.
All those who don't agree. Okay, closed. Or motion, yeah, it's closed. Hearing's closed. And we're in good shape.
Thank you very much for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
No, because the special permit goes away. Doesn't need it. Okay, the 6:40 public hearing for City Council Petition 2-27, Claire Frieda, Councilor at Large, requests that the City Council adopt a temporary moratorium on battery storage systems. The moratorium will be in effect starting upon adoption by the Leominster City Council. The moratorium will be in place until July 31st, 2027. Might as well open the next one too, because, do you want to open the next one? Where are you, Claire? You want to open both of them together, or you want to take them separately?
You're the chair, it's up to you.
Let's take them separately. Okay, so let's talk about the battery storage systems first.
We
We
need
can't
six.
vote on these, we're just
Right.
opening the hearing, right?
Are you gonna leave the hearing open?
I am. Yep, for both of them. So do you want to have your say on the first
Okay.
one?
All right, pretty much, we're all familiar with the battery storage systems. I think we've got a couple going up in the city that we weren't aware of until we saw them going up. There's some discussion about them. I didn't want to get into a gut reaction of banning things, because I don't think that's what we should be doing in a city. I think we need to take the time to look at what the planning board and the city council can do together. We all know we use data. We know that, and I'm sure there are some smaller data centers in the city somewhere that we're probably not aware of. But I think we need to open it for discussion, have a year so that we're not having everybody come in to apply or looking for permits
Are we
to.
talking about data centers or
Yeah,
batteries?
let's open up the second hearing then, seeing that we're
right.
talking about
First
that.
one's a battery.
It's actually,
First
all
one's
right,
battery.
All right, battery storage, well, same, actually.
Yeah,
but
it's
The
actually.
principle is the same.
It is. So I'm gonna open the
Sorry, I went off on the
645.
other one.
Well, it isn't. Batteries are small backup stations, and the data centers.
Well, they could
No,
be
they're,
very
no, they're
large, too.
not.
They could be
Have you
huge.
seen what the battery
Yeah.
storage looks like?
The what?
They're the size of tractor trailers.
I know, but the land itself, they build a battery backup station on a piece of, I'll tell you why. Because I actually have two pieces of property that I've signed 2 contracts for a battery backup station. And they actually go on 100 feet.
Why are you
by
telling me
40.
that, Tom?
Well, because I'm not gonna be able to vote on it,
I know, yeah.
but I know something about it.
Yeah.
They're building one on Marguerite Ave right now.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
that's,
coming
how many of those are gonna be on there? How many battery storage facilities are on there? How many
On that one.
on that unit? I know,
But the actual space isn't that big, because they're the size of a tractor trailer, but there's only maybe 2 or 3 of them.
I think
The
it's more.
technology's changing so fast in those right now that
They actually came
every
in twice
couple of
because
months
they
they
shrunk
get,
it.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
the
they
capacity
came in
goes
for
up.
minor.
The plan came before us, but it's taken up a lot of that site. a lot of
Well,
that.
they're not gonna use that.
Well, yeah.
It'll be fenced in.
There was
I know
there was
the one-
all sorts, but that's to your point.
To my,
That's your
to my point, there's no directive. We don't have anything to direct anybody. I mean, we've got them coming in, they're in 2 places. Now, Tom, you're saying you got a couple that they're gonna be potential. But you
just
could have something, you could have something huge come into the city and we have no regulation for it.
Why did we vote on it the last one we were using?
We used, we used the fire department was our initial, they did the review.
Two questions, one on each petition, if you don't.
Well, we didn't open the second petition
Oh, I
yet.
thought you did.
No, I was starting to, but we started talking
I
again.
thought
I
you
will hold
did.
my second.
Okay,
just
I'm
ask my
opening the
first.
public hearing, 6:45, public hearing for City Council Petition 3-27. Claire Frieda, Councilor at Large, requests that the City Council enact a temporary moratorium on the application to build new data centers.
All right, so one on each
Wait,
petition.
the moratorium will be in effect starting upon adoption by the Leominster City Council. The moratorium will be in effect and in place until July 31st, 2027.
So on the battery storage petition, the moratorium proposal, we have proposals already in progress that have come before the board and we've made
We
decisions.
have one,
and
I
people
think,
have-
and then.
We have one on the
Yeah,
agenda
The
tonight.
only
We have one.
The only one I think we have approved is
Marguerite
Marguerite
Ave, right.
Corner.
There's 2. Well, there's another one on Willard Street.
Yeah, and 259 Lancaster.
I don't
Street's
know
on
if
the
you
agenda
approved
tonight.
it or not.
There's another one on the agenda.
So I just want to know how it affects those who have taken action and made decisions based on the planning board's actions to date. Are they exempt from the moratorium because it's in progress, or does this retroactively change what they're doing? I just want
Well,
to know what our,
And I think, yeah, you're talking about planning board action, but it came from the building inspector, and I know he's sitting behind us, but still, I don't consider it light manufacturing, and that's how one of them got up. I mean, I don't know how you get light manufacturing out of that, but that's how the one on Willard Street went up, is my understanding.
And then the
And
other
that,
one was renewable energy, right?
I'm sorry?
I think the other one was renewable energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are they grandfathered, Claire, based on, I guess another way
That's
to
my
ask the
question.
question, would they, if they have a proposal that's in play, let's just use Marguerite Ave.
Yep.
Are they grandfathered?
Well, that's already been approved.
So it's been approved, so they're grandfathered.
Right, so I don't think there's anything, I understood there was a cease and desist order on that one right now, I don't know why though. But regardless, I understand your question. I
Yep,
don't think we
yep.
can do anything about those.
No.
But I think we do need to look at the future
Yep.
on
So
what
this
we're,
would be going
what we're-
forward, no new proposals could take place till that.
and a
discussion
perfect
takes place.
example is I got a call from someone today who has a solar system in her house. She's had it for 10 years. And she's talking about incentives that the electric company is giving on adding data storage to that system. That would take the place of a generator in the
Yep.
case of a power outage.
Yep.
Would save her power, but, and that's fine. But we've been around a long time. Sal, Tommy, and remember the days when somebody used a power tool and it affected a whole neighborhood?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
couldn't watch your TV. Hairdressers had,
Those big blow dryers there, the beehive ones, you know,
yeah, so.
spaceship ones.
So
My
how do
mother
you,
picked them
how
all
do you
up.
regulate one person in an area? And then if you get a subdivision and you get 10 people in the neighborhood that are all using storage, now what do we have? So I think we need to have some time to talk about it between the city council and the planning board and figure out what we want in our city and hear from some of the constituency.
You've answered the first question, I'm sorry. Can we just, the second one on the data?
The data center?
At our last meeting, we sent 2 recommendations to the city council to deal with data centers. Does this supersede that, or is this one of those 2 that you're looking
No,
for?
it has nothing to do with me. These were, I had these in progress before
They were.
those came on.
So-
And we haven't heard those yet. We have a public hearing on them on the 24th.
So is this?
Those weren't moratoriums, those were adding
Those,
definitions
yeah, those were,
to the
one was
zoning.
to ban,
One was a ban.
Right.
And
There were
one
2.
was-
One was a ban and one was the other one allowing it
I
certain
thought the other
places.
wasn't.
yeah, in certain,
No. And
It was a
what,
special use.
One
No, go
allowed
ahead,
it in the industrial
Oh,
district.
it would be by special permit by the city council. That's
Correct.
what the other
Correct.
one was. Okay.
I wonder
Right.
if they have any, well, just like we didn't wanna see a
So this is a
cell
third
tower
option.
going in behind Eagles, and we voted against it. but it went
well,
in.
wait, well, yeah, let's talk about that for a bit. Because I think this,
Is there some-
all right, can I talk about that? Because I
Absolutely.
put the petition in for
Yep,
cell
yep.
towers about 100 years ago.
Yep.
And the same with adult zoning. You know,
Right.
both those issues, you know, when I was, and you know I'm involved with the Mass Municipal Association, so when other communities were saying no to some of these things, and then they were ending up in lawsuits, and then it was coming back to them, and all of a sudden, somebody can come back, when they win, they can go anywhere they want in the city, you know, with no restrictions. So I started checking with some of these people, and we found out that both of those were federally protected. You know, the
Freedom of
adult
speech.
zoning was freedom of speech, and the cell towers was freedom of communication.
Yep.
But we were at least able, and when I put those in right away, we were able to develop a fall zone. We were able to develop, you know, if it was near a neighborhood, how close was it, so that if it fell, it collapsed rather than fall over. Adult zoning, we kept it in industrial. That was 1999 when I put that petition in, because I looked back the other day after I heard someone at the last presentation regarding that say that he worked on it. I put it in 1999. So, you know, I know when we did it, and we don't have one in the city yet. So, I mean, we need to protect what we want to protect, but we don't want to ban something that maybe we will end up wanting to ban it at the end of the year. But
After
let's
the-
look at it and hear from people
Yeah.
and see what they want.
well, you know, I think there's a lot of communities having, I mean, we got to do our homework on this because especially, you know, the data centers, because there are a lot of issues with the noise, the water consumption, the electricity. It's a lot of stuff. And there are not a lot of communities that are really thrilled with having them from what I've been reading.
There are 5, I think, so far that I'm aware of that
And they
have
continue to grow.
moratoriums. And one banning it. Holyoke banned it, but I think they're coming back on it a little bit and coming in with a moratorium with some
I think one of the things that we did, and I think this is a lot like it. We had the Telecom Act of '87, which kind of laid out the whole rules and regulations, what you couldn't do with towers, telecommunication facilities. And at the time, we wanted to protect the city because we knew people would start wanting them in their backyards. And they were. And we put together, we were really good. And we were
We
really
went
in
back
front of the
and forth
curve
on
on that.
that.
And we put
Yeah, we
together
were.
a great package. And at the time, our assistant director, I think, was from the telecom industry, and she helped a lot as well. So we drafted the regulations and
Kristen, right?
the zoning ordinances and all the minutia that went with it. And we work with the city council to do that, and I think that's something we need to do here as well. I think
Right.
there should be, some kind of subcommittee from the planning board and city council to work on these two, because these are gonna be huge. And they're gonna be huge going down, and they could have a lot of impact and negative impact. So you either control it, or they do what they want, so.
Some of the larger, I mean, just to go back to the battery storage, there are some that are in some real sensitive areas. That's where a lot of the communities are fighting because of the fire suppression. You can't put them out with water.
No.
So there's a certain foam that they have to use. So that's an expense, number one.
Yeah.
That's an expense for their fire department. And depending on how big it is, there are evacuation requirements that are made in some of the areas, if it's residential. There's environmental when it comes to water supplies, if it's anywhere near a tributary or anything that's gonna lead to water. If anything were to happen, and it's thermal, so it overheats in some cases, and it's known to jump from trailer to trailer. There's a lot, I think it's a lot that's still new, but if you look at the history, there's been some serious issues with them. So I think we need to look at it, and we need to say what we want in our city, and protect our own interest. And the same with the data centers, we know what it's affecting. So let's get on top of it ahead of time and find out exactly what we want. Do we want to ban it in the end? Maybe.
Maybe.
But I think the state's gonna tell us we're gonna have to do something with that too, as well as they're telling us with battery storage.
Same thing, if it can be controlled and placed in the right spot, maybe. Or maybe if we could ban it, maybe.
Yep.
But we don't know enough, and
Right.
I don't think any of us are educated enough on it. Except for, I see the bad things, I hear the bad things, I read the bad things. I don't know what else anybody else has been seeing, but
I got one comment and then a question. So I think it's important that, while these are related to what you're trying to get done with the moratoriums, there's a big difference between data centers and battery storage.
All right,
Different requirements.
I
different-
didn't mix them up, Chairman.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been mixed up a couple times, but just to point that out. The other question is, so, the definition of battery storage systems for a moratorium, is that commercial only, or what about the residential backups?
Well, that's what I said. I just got a call today on somebody
Right.
who wants to
Because there's a lot of those
connect it.
around, and the technology for the home consumer ones are extremely similar to an electric vehicle system. In fact, you can plug your electric car in and use it as a battery backup, so are we
Right.
planning to ban just the commercial installations, which
But
are
when
very
you're
different?
talking about wattage, and I don't have an answer to this, when you're talking about wattage, and I just brought that up, if you got too many in a neighborhood, does that affect any of the areas that don't have storage? I mean, how does the wattage control, what's in a neighborhood? I think that's what you have to look at.
Yeah, those are, using your car as a backup is no different than a solar installation that's doing net metering going back into the grid.
Do we know that for sure? Do we have data on
The
that?
commercial battery
I think
backup
that's,
stations are put in for when an area is overusing
Yeah,
power.
it's a very different use case.
I know why.
The residential.
I know why.
They're filling it with power and it's stored there, and then they pull it when they need it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Eric's point is that in order to define this, are we lumping
Right.
home battery?
I don't know
backup
anything about the
systems
home
in
ones.
with these?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm confused, maybe you have a little more information than I do. Every one of us that has FiOS or, right, that has voice over IP has a battery backup in their house?
There is a battery backup for
It's
your
a very,
FiOS. It's a
very
very
tiny
different
one,
system, but
But
yeah.
it's a battery energy
Yeah.
storage system.
Yeah, there's different battery storage
We have to
systems
be
too,
careful about the
residentially, I
definition
mean,
About what we're
Exact, that's my
trying,
point.
trying to have a moratorium on?
but,
Are we gonna tell Verizon that we can't have any more voice over IPs?
we could separate the residential,
Yeah.
that's the whole point of having a moratorium and having a discussion on it.
Yeah, agreed.
If you ban
Yeah, I
it, then
think
it's
what
gonna
we're
be no.
looking at more than not is the commercial aspect.
Yeah.
And
The
you can-
residential aspect's gonna change,
And then you can
you
take
know,
some
but
out.
yearly, you know, as we go forward, as technology grows so fast. So
Even the one that they came in front of us on Marguerite Ave was
it was a lot bigger than it
8
is
feet
now.
taller, and
Yeah.
then 2 years later, they came back with them on, because the batteries got smaller. So the fence was even gonna hide them, when the first fences, they weren't gonna.
And that was also approved initially during COVID, from what I understand, so that kind of went under the radar for all of us to see.
And
So,
there's some new technology now to switch from lithium to sodium batteries, which are much more stable. They don't have the thermal runaway. That's still kind of out in the future,
so
but that'll be
if
here.
that has to be a requirement, then that's something that could be put into that.
But
I mean,
think it's
that's
important to
that's
keep
what I'm
the
suggesting that we look at.
Residential out of the moratorium, because that has a bigger impact.
Picking
and I don't
back
think
up on
it's-
what Jason and Eric were saying, just reading the definition. A commercial or residential system that collects, stores, and discharges electrical energy using electrochemical cells. That really could be,
That's every
may
hybrid
consist of
electric
a
car.
single battery or multi-batteries,
Literally anything.
may include any devices utilized to provide cooling to said, I mean, yeah, that could really include almost any home electronic too.
That scope
That's
is huge.
You didn't read the whole definition. It says these systems are primarily used to absorb energy from the grid or solar arrays, support renewable integration and discharge power during high demand peaks. So
And-
that takes out the FiOS, all that good stuff.
And the governor actually signed legislation about 6 months ago to promote it, you
Yep.
know, actually to put more of them in.
The big issue we have now is Massachusetts promoted solar so much. During the day, everyone's not at home, your solar is cranking out. And I've got 2 large solar systems on residential houses, so I've done a lot of research on it. And then at night,
And they're all
everyone's
battery-
solar
they're all
turns off.
battery backups, basically. Are they?
With the solar, no, but you can add the battery backup, and that's what these storage systems are doing, so that during the day when there's extra electricity, there's no place for it to go right now into the grid, and it's really tough to spin up a coal or nuclear power plant up and down for demand, so they kind of act like a buffer. The best way to look at them is like a water tower, you know, it's kind of pumping and filling all day long. When there's demand, it drops down. They're a water tower for electricity. But very different than the residential usage, which people use instead of a generator or.
My whole point is that we need to look at this, and I don't want to ban anything, because I think we need to look at, you know, what our community needs to have. I mean, we all rely on data, we all rely on battery and electricity.
Power.
So I agree with you. I think it needs a little bit more study, and we're gonna continue this anyway. Right, and we need some definitions for sure, and the definitions have to be refined.
Claire, where did the definition come from? Did you take that from another city, or
I'm sorry?
the definition, did that come from another city that has a moratorium in place?
I combined a couple, and then you can go online and get a lot of definitions from Massachusetts
So
alone.
in all likelihood, these have been tested by somebody else before they got to you? Yeah, yeah, I'm supportive of your concept too.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm just concerned about the residential part.
Well, yeah, that's part of the discussions.
Right.
And that may mean you change the definition.
Or we can exclude the residential and.
Or exclude
we can
residential altogether.
We can consider it, and if we feel like we need to put it back in within that year, we can do that, but we can exclude it in the beginning. That's not an issue.
So maybe we need to exclude it at the beginning, but we need to put together some kind of working group. Anybody here want to volunteer for that,
I'll,
to work with the city council
Yeah.
on that?
Well,
Jane, you too?
I can talk with Carol, and we'll put 2 or 3 people together on
Yeah,
both sides.
I think it'd be a great idea, and then that way it's gonna get, we're gonna try to be as proactive as we were on the telecom piece, which we did a great job on. We were one of the only communities that had that in place.
Yep.
And it really prevented a lot of hardship for us. I mean, we lost a few because we got,
And that was in the that was in the beginning.
that was
when
in the
we lost
beginning, but
those.
we lost a few just because, you know, we were emotionally tied to a certain place, but they did follow all the requirements that we put in place.
They take a long time to get through anyway.
Yeah, so let's put a committee together on this, Claire. We're gonna continue these anyway, these
Yep.
hearings. And just keep us informed of when we're gonna have the next meeting and
Well, you're gonna vote on the moratorium
vote on
the
the-
next meeting, right?
You're right,
Okay.
right.
A recommendation. to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
city
I'm
council.
gonna get there. Go ahead.
Next meeting will be a recommendation to the city council.
Correct.
And it'll be after,
After,
our hearing is gonna be on the 14th
right,
of September. So we're
Right.
gonna miss that because,
so are you just gonna table that at the city council?
well, we're gonna have to give it further time. We're
Further
not gonna be
time,
able
okay.
to do anything without a recommendation from you.
Okay,
But the recommendation to the city council will be for the definition as it stands in this wording. If they decide to change it to.
We can
refine it
exclude, we can
residential.
exclude
Or we can change it.
residential,
We
that's
can
We
fine.
should recommend that they change it too.
Yeah,
We don't have to go, it's not just yes or no.
all right.
but we have to have some real good thought around all of this, because we've gotta make a place for it.
It'll be like the communication thing, like, if you don't have a choice,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
because it might be federally mandated or federally.
Well, you know, it's gonna make, they're gonna try to control it, but if you have a strong ordinance in place, it's gonna help your cause, because, so,
Before we continue the hearing, is there?
yeah, is there anybody in the audience who has anything to say about this at all, or would like to speak about this? Battery storage and,
Data centers.
Well, Claire, thank you for doing these. I think they're really good
Yeah.
suggestions, and I would move to continue the
think it's
public hearing for City Council Petition 2-27, first on battery storage, until
6:35, 9:21.
9/21, 6:35.
second, who's seconding it?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Paul and seconded by Tom. Continue the hearing to 9:21 at 6:35. All those in favor?
Yes.
All those opposed? So moved.
Okay, and now I move to continue the public hearing for City Council Petition 3-27 on data centers until 9/21 at 6:36.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Paul, seconded by Dean. All those in favor?
Right.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed?
Counselor.
Okay. Okay, continue to, oh, we don't have a time for that. Did we have?
6:36.
6:36?
Yes.
Good, okay, thank you. Thanks, Paul. Okay. Okay, back to the regular meeting now, call to order.
Patrick Perla, excused. Paul Weiser. Carol Vittorioso, excused. Tom Kergnen.
Here.
Dean Valier, excused. Jason Parre.
Here.
Eric Maybe.
Here.
Sal Chaconi.
Here. Okay, minutes of previous meetings, June 22nd, 2026.
Second?
All those in favor? Motion made by Paul, seconded by Tom to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. 3.0, plan submitted, A&R for 1218 Main Street, map 255, parcel 1. Oh, I had this somewhere. There we go. It's an A&R, guys.
Sure, please. Thank you.
Your name for the record and address?
I was just waiting.
Oh.
Yeah. It's listed as, I don't know. Can you do that? That's not frontage.
You have somebody here.
Please.
For the record, my name is Dan Wolf. I'm with David Ross Associates, presenting the A&R plan for the Bosworth Family Irrevocable Trust. The property in question is the home at 218 Main Street. They currently have about a 4.1 acre property, and we have divided the property to create a conforming lot in the front, Lot 1, and parcel A in the back, which consists of 3.31 acres. That 3.31 acres is to be joined with and annexed with the property just to the south owned by the Bosworth family at 1188 Main Street. So it's that parcel A that's just being transferred in this process.
But where's your frontage?
It's not a building lot.
No, it's not.
It is parcel A is a parcel without frontage, but it is to be joined with the property at 1188 Main Street.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to endorse. All those who approve? Oh, made by Paul, seconded by Dean?
Jason?
Jason, seconded by Jason. All those in favor? All those opposed?
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
new business.
Thank you.
4.0, new business. 4.1, City Council Petition 2-27, Claire Frieda, Councilor at Large, requests that the City Council adopt a temporary moratorium on battery storage systems. The moratorium will be in effect starting upon adoption by the Leominster City Council. The moratorium will be in place until July 31st, 2027. Planning Board to make a recommendation. Well, this is going to be continued, so do we need a motion to continue? Okay, so this is going to be continued, and it's already been scheduled for 9/21 at 6:30. Okay, 4.2, City Council Petition 3-. Oh, we have to vote on that? No vote. City Council Petition 3-27, Claire Frieda, Councilor at Large, requests that the city can enact a temporary moratorium on the application to build new data centers. The moratorium will be in effect starting upon adoption by the Leominster City Council. Moratorium will be in effect and in place until July 31st, 2027. Again, this one is going to be continued to 9/21 at 6:35. 6:36, sorry. 6:36. Well, that one's good. Okay, old business. 5.1, site plan application for 321 Litchfield Street, map 441, parcel 82, two-family residential dwelling.
There were two waivers.
Okay. Waivers, well, landscaping, and what was the other waiver?
58.6 from the 1-foot candle light lighting.
Lighting, that's right, the lighting was different.
Take them in bulk, or do we need to?
I think you gotta take the waivers separately. Yeah.
22-62.3.1. Correct.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Paul, seconded by Dean to accept the waiver. All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, motion passes.
58.6 from the 1.0 candle foot lighting.
Okay, motion made by Paul to grant the waiver for the lighting, seconded by Dean. Oh, by Eric, sorry. Geez, I can't keep myself straight, never mind you guys. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, now to the meat of this thing. A site plan application for 321 Litchfield Street, map 441, parcel 82, two-family residential dwelling. What say ye?
Move to accept, move to approve.
We have department head comments. Let's grab them.
5.2 was continued.
5.2, yep, well, 5.1 still.
Okay. What?
the one on the road.
Yeah.
This is the one on the rotary. Around the-
This was good, right? We're doing this one. 321, okay, okay, here's the, who is this? Which one is this? Oh, Health Department, city water and sewer okay, asbestos and rodent and survey required prior to demolition. If lighting waiver is granted, it shall comply with both light trespass regs attached here. If association is formed, private rubbish collection will be required. Duplexes can have municipal collection. Okay, and there is a light trespass regulation attached to it from the Board of Health with all the standards and the fines. All right, the building inspector, the ZBA approved 2 family homes in the commercial portion of the lot. They now want to have 2 additional 2-family homes on the back portion of the lot, which is zoned RB. He disapproves, the building inspector.
You resolved that after that?
That's resolved?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then, well, he had another one. Well, Fire Department complies with Mass Comprehensive Fire Safety Code 527 CMR 1.00, Chapter 18.1.1 and 18.2.3.5.4, which is based on the updated NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. One standard requires strict adherence to specific dimensional proximity and engineering rules to ensure fire apparatus can safely navigate a site. Roadway dimensions and clearances, building proximity and access, distance, engineering, and structural requirements. Administrative and operational rules, dead ends and turn radius for fire access, 150 foot plus 426 actual. That was resolved. And I saw it on the plan, but it was, do we have a note from the fire department that it was resolved? Well, it's gonna be a condition anyway. The assessors, no issue. Conservation, they approve. DPW, they need more information. Current driveway location conflicts with the new Mass DOT layout of Central Street. Please coordinate with Mass DOT.
That was
Provide
done.
a swale along the northern property line to direct runoff to the basin.
They were satisfied with that.
Satisfied. Were they, Chris? Say-
The swale's no longer needed based on the site redesign, so it's a redundant comment.
And they also put, let's see, and then traffic. Per your request, this is from Sergeant Robichaud, Traffic Supervisor, Leominster Police Department. I already read this.
You don't do it again.
I'm just making sure. Okay. All right. So all of these should be put in any motion that's made. Okay.
Motion to approve with department head
And the waivers.
and waiver.
Comments and waivers.
I second that.
All right.
I still don't love it, but you do the best
Yep.
of the situation that you have.
Motion made by Dean to approve, seconded by Tom, with the approval of the 2 requested waivers and also department head comments being
The
satisfied.
gas station has a closer one. The apartment complex has a closer one. They're actually further away.
Yeah, but it's, I don't like it, but it's got nothing to do with me. So motion made. All those who approve?
Aye.
All those against, yeah. Opposed? None? Okay, motion carries. It's approved. Okay. All right, now we got, okay, we got site plan.
5.2.
Yeah, 5.2 site plan application for 396 Main Street, map 239, parcel 8, multifamily residential. That's been continued to 6/30/9/21. Okay. 5.3, that's been withdrawn without prejudice. Okay. 6.0, communications, 6.1, modification of site plan application, 259 Lancaster Street, map 484, parcel 1011. Battery energy storage system. Planning board to review and deem either minor or major. If application is minor, the board will review it and make a determination at the meeting. If application is major, the board will schedule it for a public hearing. Okay. I know.
Gonna try to
Didn't
put this
wanna-
up, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll like my computer better.
Good evening, all. My name is Alyssa Hardigan-Gattoni, and this is my colleague Josh Carter. We are from the company Clean Capital. I'm here to represent the 259 Lancaster Street project, which, just for clarity, as the conversations have gone, it is also the Marguerite Street project. It is on the crossroads of Lancaster and Marguerite, just for full clarity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you, are you gonna go over all the changes, or the change you're making?
Yes, we can go over the changes.
Great.
The change that we are looking to make is a change in the technology itself. So this project has been around for a bit, as I'm sure you all are aware. So the original approval was with a type of technology that is no longer manufactured. As we've discussed throughout the night, the technology continues to improve and change. So what had originally been requested or proposed by the developer who came before you previously was a specific type of battery manufacturer. We are proposing to change basically for like technology, just by a different manufacturer, and actually to downsize the project a bit. So they had previously received approval for 8 units. We would be downsizing to 6 and reducing the footprint of the sound wall by about 60%. It would be about 60% of the original approval.
But you're downsizing the physical space, but increasing the storage capacity pretty substantially, right?
So the original approval was always for 8 containers, so had they used all 8 of those containers, it would have been a larger system. We are downsizing to 6 containers, so it seems like a larger size, but in reality, what was approved was in fact larger originally.
And how big are the containers?
Actual physical size
Yeah,
or energy-wise?
Physical size.
I can pull up the actual dimensions if that's helpful. Is that not working? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, give me one moment to pull up the actual dimensions for you. And I think it's important to note as well that the sound wall that encapsulates them will render them entirely, you will not see them whatsoever from the street, but I can pull up the dimensions.
Well, I think they actually came in once to downsize them.
Yeah.
And we're downsizing further,
And you're going further.
indeed.
Is to replace the other power and battery enclosures, yep.
Is that not working?
No.
Okay.
Right.
They're 20 feet, apologies. And our site is just under an acre in total. The entire site, not the actual footprint.
So what's the actual capacity? Because it's been listed.
So apologies for that. So both sizes that we had proposed are actually correct. It's the difference between DC size and
Okay,
the AC
DC
at the point of interconnection. So the DC size is 30.090 megawatt hours. The AC size at the point of interconnection is 26.5. That's the
That makes
differentiation.
sense.
Yes,
Okay.
apologies for that.
But it's not listed AC or DC on
Yes,
here
we
either way,
realized,
so-
we did realize, so we apologize for the confusion.
But that is still from the original estimate, 11.45 megawatts, right?
11.
Oh, that's per storage container.
Storage
So-
capacity.
Yes, each storage container is about 5 megawatt hours, and the original, or the one that was previously approved, the Hithiums were the same size. We are just simply switching to the same size in a different manufacturer.
Okay, so that 11 was for the first modification. I got it.
Yes, I believe so.
A lot of megawatts listed. out.
So the only change is the technology going in?
Yes,
The
and
building being changed at all?
I'm sorry, the what?
The structure itself?
No, the sound wall is being reduced in size.
Oh, the sound wall inside.
But the actual sound wall is not changing, the landscaping is not changing whatsoever, so even though we're reducing the footprint, the landscaping is identical, it's 143 new plantings. We have the renderings that show the 1-year and 5-year expected growth from that landscaping plan. So none of that is changing, it is simply the technology and that we're reducing the footprint.
So
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Have they ever caught on fire?
Have,
Have there been a fire in any of them?
in any of these
Yeah.
batteries ever, or this type of battery?
These type of batteries, this manufacturer? Do they catch on fire?
I can't state whether this manufacturer has ever had a fire because I can't say that I know that offhand.
Yeah.
I would say the media obviously covers what is sensationalized when things go wrong, as we all know, across anything. And that there are far more success stories about putting clean energy back on the grid than there are about these catching fires, but that is not necessarily as newsworthy.
It doesn't make good news.
Doesn't
when
make good
something's
news.
not on fire.
Exactly.
Are these lithium?
Yes.
So one of the, I'm just gonna read a couple comments. Craig Long, the fire chief.
Yes.
First old comments? It's major.
Oh, yeah,
If it's major, we have to schedule it.
that's right. Okay, all right, I can do that.
I would agree, it sounds minor.
You know, they're making smaller, shorter. It's not like they're gonna make it look
So I
different.
would move we recognize this as a minor modification and actually do it.
I would second that.
Okay, motion made by Paul, seconded by Tom, that this is a minor modification to the site plan. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? No, I'm just,
Well, that's all they need, actually.
that's all you guys need, but I don't know, if the fire chief asked if it was, asked if the project is sprinklered. Mr. Carter said it was sprinklered. There was a discussion about changing piping and changing the hydrant on Marguerite Ave. Chief Long said there was no discussion about changing piping. The original proposal was to allow the project to burn. This proposal is near abutting property, so there is concern if one burns. So we got some sensitivity in the fire department, it seems.
We met with them. We were
Yep.
here last week to meet, to have a technical review with the
Oh,
mayor
for
and team.
technical- yeah,
And so
right.
we met with them, and
Yep.
it seems that there was just a slight misunderstanding. We had provided some of the fire deliverables to the building department with our building permit, and it just seems that there might have been a mix-up, that the fire department thought that we were handing those to them directly, and they just never seemed to reach the final party. We have all those materials for them. We have answers to all of their comments. All of their comments are reviewed. The dry fire sprinkler system that they're looking for will be included in the project. So we told Chief Long that we would follow up with all of those deliverables for the Tier 1 permit, HMA, and emergency response plan. We have answers to all of their questions, so we don't anticipate any issues.
Are you going to be filing those with the,
With the bill, yes,
the-
we'll
with the
refile them. We
build?
wanted to come, we obviously
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
come back before you,
Yep.
but all of that will be refiled with the fire department directly.
okay. Shane Newton, oh, no, wait. That's just the logic for the hydrant move. Sergeant Robichaud from the Police Department Traffic Division said the police requirement was for bollards. The fence could enclose the bollards, and asked if there was a security system for the site, and you get security gates.
Yes, and there are 44-inch steel bollards that will be painted the same color as the surrounding sound wall so that it minimizes the aesthetic impact. So those are still part of the plan. They are planned right now to be outside of the sound wall so that if anyone should crash, they would protect the sound wall as well, which would maintain the aesthetic integrity of the site. And there's security gates with locks that only authorized personnel have access to, as well as cameras.
Okay, we also had a comment, if police and fire have, this is from Matt DePerry, Police Department. If police and fire have a problem on Saturday at 2 a.m., how fast will the response be from the owners?
Yes, so we have an emergency phone number that immediately distributes the call to all personnel involved in the project. So by phone call, they'll get in touch with someone immediately. And then in terms of response time, it is someone will be on site the day of the event and within the longest time frame, 24 hours, but they'll be able to reach someone immediately.
And the police chief said this contact info for the alarm system needs to be updated consistently.
Yes, that was something that the fire department spoke to us about as well, that the frustration with reaching out to a company and finding out that someone has left. We will work with our operations team to make sure that there's a quarterly update to all of the required parties. And we also have email addresses and contacts at our company that don't go to a singular person, but go to the construction department, which would be our team, and the asset management team. So we can also utilize those to make sure that they are always going to current employees as opposed to a singular person. That might change.
And Health asked about the noise, how much noise is submitted, and there was a revised, I guess that Mr. Canavan said there was a revised sound study, it would be the same or less that was approved before.
Yes, so we had a revised sound study done for this unit and this manufacturer type. That sound study was included in the documents we sent over, but I can summarize it. It found that all of it is still in requirements and in compliance with the Massachusetts Department of let me make sure I get this right. I want to make sure I actually tell you the exact correct item.
The sound study?
Yeah, I'm just looking for what it's in requirements with. The sound study said that these are actually less sound invasive than the previous manufacturer that was approved, is what I'm looking for.
And then the building commissioner, Peter Niles, said the determination is this requires site plan approval from the planning board. Purchasing agent asked if the fence could be vinyl wrapped.
We looked into that. It cannot be vinyl wrapped, but it is, the sound wall that was chosen is it's like a shiplap design. We have photos and renderings that we can provide if you would like to see them. The color that was selected is a light gray. We had reached out to the building department to see if that was acceptable. There are a few other colors that are available. We confirmed with our contractor today that we could change that for an additional fee if you would like us to. That's not problematic. We picked the light gray because it's relatively neutral. But if you wanted something a little bit, we thought that would be ideal for you to be a little bit understated, but it can be changed if you'd like. There are color options, but it comes in horizontal kind of ladder, like slats.
Okay, compliance with zoning ordinance, you know, there is a thing here that says use permitted per zoning. It's located in a commercial district. A BESS is not listed as an allowed use per the table of uses. Therefore, it is prohibited use per section 22-17, table of uses. However, this was previously determined to be allowed use by the building commissioner when the original application was submitted, and therefore arguably grandfathered as an allowed use. So it's being grandfathered, okay. General comments regarding the second mob for the plan for decommissioning. And they sent that out for peer review. There was a substantial amount that had to be put in place for that. 197, I think I read somewhere, 197,000 for decommissioning.
Yep, we were just waiting for approval on that. We can issue the bond this week if approved.
Okay, and I think, let's see. Just said the cover letter states that the 26.5 megawatt hours are proposed, however, the plan states 30.090 megahertz are proposed. Clarification on this is recommended. Did we just clarify that?
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
AC versus DC, the way you measure it.
As the technology for BESS has changed, I have general knowledge about the proposed use, but I'm not an expert. I can recommend a peer review by an engineering firm that can review the plan with regard to civil noise and fire safety. Is this still from the building commissioner?
No, that's for me.
These comments were for
Different, yeah.
22.
Yeah, these were from the original project.
That's a new
I don't
comment.
know, they were
That's a new
highlighted, and
comment.
I figured I'd read them just to make sure.
Approval, we already said it's a minor modification.
Okay, so we're good. Okay. That's a mea culpa, I hear.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you so much.
So,
voted on it?
anybody have questions? Any more questions? Okay, so we voted on the modification already
As a minor.
as a minor modification, and that's all there is to it. You guys are good.
Thank you so much.
Build a good project,
Did
will
We
you?
will.
You voted to approve it with the original conditions or no?
We voted there was a minor modification.
We voted a minor modification, so we don't have to
That's all we
revote.
voted on.
No, that's just deeming it. You still have to vote on the minor modification.
We did.
We did.
No, we voted to deem it a minor.
Oh, okay, so,
Now we have to vote on.
all right, let's have a motion.
So go ahead.
Wait, what are we voting
Whether you accept them.
Accept the modification.
Yeah,
Accepting.
on? I move to accept the.
I'll second.
all right, motion made by, motion made by Paul and seconded by Eric to,
Do you want the conditions from before to stay with it?
all conditions are staying the same. This is just the,
Just the modification
modification.
of the different vendor.
Yeah,
No, you deemed it, you voted to deem it minor.
Yep.
Now you're voting on the actual
Yep.
modification.
yep.
Yes.
Do you, I think.
Everything carries with it, right? All the,
Correct, unless the modification requires
Yep.
additional conditions.
yep,
And it doesn't sound like this one does.
no.
Correct.
And that doesn't reopen all the other.
No,
They're all dead.
no, they're all,
If we
they
deemed
stay
it
in
a
place.
major one, it would.
Yes, it would start from the beginning. Okay, motion was made and seconded. I already said who made and seconded it, right? Paul and Eric. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, and you're accepting the decommissioning amount that they suggest? You don't want to check that? Okay, you got that. All right.
Did the decommissioning amount change?
We didn't have it before. This is the first time we're seeing it.
Oh, it
We
says
haven't seen
second
it before.
modification in August.
They had to come back in front of the board as a condition with the decommissioning amount. That was a condition of approval. And they did provide that information, but we never checked it ever.
So a decommissioning plan is proposed with a financial surety of $197,227.45 to cover the cost of the decommissioning of the site. We didn't vote on that in the first.
We never
one?
voted on that before. Before, the previous was that they come in front of you with the decommissioning plan for the bond. That was the original
Do
condition.
we have the plan?
Do we have any information on how that number was derived?
Yes, there's a calculation that was provided.
And does it matter since we just approved it?
Yeah.
Well, we approved the modification of the plan, not the.
Modification
Right.
has nothing to do with decommissioning.
That's right,
It's a
That's
separate.
what I heard.
right.
That's what my notes
The-
said.
No,
One of the
that's-
conditions was that they come back before you with the decommissioning bond amount and plan.
So have they met that condition?
But I'm not sure that that's related to what's on the agenda.
Well, they're,
No.
if they don't, they did provide that information. So either you approve that tonight, or they have to come back again with the decommissioning. That was,
I don't think that's on the agenda, so I don't know if we can approve it tonight because it wasn't advertised.
Yeah.
All the agenda says is we'll deem it either major or minor. If it's minor, the board will review it and make a determination.
so they still have to come back with the decommissioning.
If they, if.
That was a
minor
condition.
Things that they have to come back, then they have to come back, but you have to actually, it has to be in the agenda before you act.
Okay,
If I understand it correctly.
okay.
That's correct. It should be listed on the, it's just an administrative
Yeah.
issue.
Yep.
And, yeah.
I mean, if you wanna check it, you can, and then just deem it that.
Well, so we need
Is there a
the
way to check
plan.
it?
We need the.
I have a company, I found recommendations of places that can check that for us, yes.
So we need
So
the
we could put it on
plan.
the September agenda if they want to put it on, and then we could do the decommissioning in September 21st.
What?
Just, and it's under communications.
Did you give us the decommissioning plan?
We don't
It
have
was
one.
provided in the packet.
Okay.
It was.
Yes.
I missed that, but I only got it today, so. I was on vacation, it's not her fault.
It's right here.
I'll probably be
So,
dead
so
by the time they decommission
you guys want to come back with the plan?
We can definitely do that. I would ask that currently we're not allowed to continue construction because we had to come back before the board for approval. Is it possible to remobilize to site and receive our building permit, or do we have to wait until September to do that?
Can we make that?
That
a
was
con-
the original, that they had to do the decommissioning before they could start.
And again, I don't know how to do it until it's in place. Because what if it's not acceptable and then you're halfway down the road?
Yeah, well, 921's
Well,
the,
then we up the amount, but they're still going forward. We're not gonna stop.
so you want to make it a conditional?
We have to have the bond in place.
Right,
With
before
the
they start
city, with
construction.
treasurer,
Before they start construction?
yeah,
So we need the plan to allow that to happen.
yep.
I'm sorry, it's just an administrative oversight, but
We would have liked to help you, but it looks like you guys are going to have to wait till the 21st. Well, it's not that long, is it? It's a month.
3 weeks.
It's going to snow early this year, isn't it?
They started site work. Obviously, they started construction.
We just, yeah, I mean, the city needs to have its surety and guarantees that everything's in place. Owners have changed, batteries have changed, everything changes. So we need to have at least something solid in place that we can put our hands around. So let's schedule that for 9/21. Do we need a vote on that to have it scheduled for 9/21?
No, they
Just
can, they
under
just have to
communications?
communicate with the staff, and then staff will put it on the agenda.
And then do they even have to be here on the 21st?
they should.
If it's just on the communications?
What if we have questions about?
All right, okay, all right, 9:21 it is. We'll try to we should try to get it done early. We'll figure that out on 9:21. We'll get you guys out of here early.
No problem. Thank you so much.
We'll move you up. Thank you, guys. Okay. 6.2.
Mr. Niles has been waiting, so.
I know it, where is it? Building Commissioner Peter Nile, requests that the planning board submit a petition to the city council on his behalf to amend the table of dimensional regulations for minimum lot areas for residential B and residential C zones. Planning board to review and make a recommendation to the planning and development director to petition the city council for these proposed changes if applicable. Okay, Peter. Hi.
You want them bigger, you want them smaller?
So when you're looking at the table of the lot sizes and stuff, one of the problems is when you get to the residential B section, it starts off, it says a two-family dwelling, not dwellings, a two-family dwelling, you need 12,500 feet. We just went through this, I don't know, it seems like 5 hours ago, but
Yeah.
we went through it where they seem to think two-family dwelling means as many as you want. It doesn't say dwellings, okay? Then the next one, it says conversion of a single or two-family residence for one additional dwelling. It says you only need 6,500 square feet. So a single-family house needs 10,000 square feet, but they're gonna allow you to put up to a three-family on 6,500 square feet. I personally believe it should say 6,500 square feet per unit. I think that was just a typo, it got left out.
No, per unit.
Yeah,
Well, that would be
that one is
per
for
Yeah,
one, two, or three families, so it would be per unit. So if you got a three-family, that's 3 units. The very next one says by right multifamily, 8,500 square feet per unit. It's already in there. The next one says 5,000 square feet per unit. The per unit was written in there.
permit, right?
Then the last one says all others, it just says 10,000 feet. And it should be 10,000 feet either per unit or per building. There should be some restriction there.
And this is where that recommendation around the interpretation was, this will fix that ambiguity.
This will fix it, because if they want to put more than one building on a lot, they can come to the planning board and they can get approval for more than one building. But what they were saying is that, well, this just says two-family dwelling is 12,500 feet. I want to put 50 of them on there. I know they said 3 and they said 5 and, no, that's for one building. And that's what it should say, is per building or per unit. So,
Peter, those are the only changes you think are needed?
that's it.
We
And it
need
does go-
6, though, to make a recommendation, don't we?
Yes.
Say again, Elizabeth? I didn't
We
hear,
need
sorry.
6 to make a recommendation, so I have to, if you,
So we have to continue.
we have to continue this to the September 21st meeting.
But I mean, we all agree that this is needed. And we
But
have
you
to
have
square
to
that
vote on
away
it
because
then.
we, huh?
You have to wait till then to vote.
I know, we can't
You
vote.
got it.
I'm just
Okay.
making a statement here.
Got it.
So this won't impact the stuff we heard on tonight because it's already in progress, right?
Right. Well,
It's already voted on.
it's already voted on, but
So this says that we would make a recommendation to the planning director. We still need 6 for that.
City council,
To make a recommendation to the planning director, not to the city council.
city council.
no, she has to submit it to the city council.
It says,
It kind of, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily matter because she would then just have to bring it back to you on the 21st to send it to the city council. So I would suggest that between now and the 21st, something in writing be put before you on the 21st, which basically says per unit. You know, change be made between either Peter or Elizabeth, somebody puts it
Yeah.
in writing.
Yep,
an actual petition.
somebody
Yeah.
actually adjusts the
An actual
table.
petition form that can
Yep.
be presented on the 21st, and then can be voted.
So can you two get together to do that?
I could have sworn I already presented it in writing.
Well, not on a form, not a petition form. And Elizabeth can do that.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, Peter.
They want a petition form.
Okay?
So we'll do it in a petition form. Well, let's do it officially, right? I mean, let's make sure we have everything we need. And it's only the per units to be added to those dimensions, correct, Peter? That's it? Everything else
just-
remains the same.
Either way, we can't vote tonight.
Yeah,
so.
we can't vote tonight, but we're just discussing it a little bit because we know we have to do something because we had 2 projects come in total different ways. And this will address all of that.
Multifamily, one is,
Yep. Okay,
which I guess,
all right. Anybody else have any more questions on that?
Makes sense to
And
me.
Elizabeth, you gonna be in touch with Peter to get that square?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
Good looking out, Mr. Now, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yep, no problem.
No, you know, we were confused the last meeting
Yeah.
with the two setups that they came in with, you know? But it looks like Anthony did it right.
Well, they started to do it right, but then when they found out that what the other ones got away with, they
Right.
changed what they were doing,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
So, we don't want it to happen again.
Nope,
I believe the two families are gonna look a lot better than one big giant multifamily.
yeah,
But you gotta follow what the rules say.
yes,
And some of them just wanted to change the rules for their own benefits.
right,
Like I said, it says two-family, doesn't say two families,
right.
so.
And I think when it was written, the assumption was because two families defined as two versus multifamily is the 3 to N, they
Right.
didn't have to do per unit.
Yeah, well,
But it's just interpreted too loose, so it makes sense.
Well, more housekeeping. Yeah, there's a lot of little things in there, isn't there?
yeah.
68,
Okay,
I think you're done with me.
yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Well, not tonight, yeah. Amy, thank you. Thank you for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Amy.
Appreciate your help.
Elizabeth, I'll talk to you.
Thank you, Peter.
Yep.
All right, 6.3, 68 Liberty Street definitive subdivision, progress update.
Short and sweet. DPW got back to us today and said this, the street is finished.
Nice.
Great news.
So that is done.
They said it's complete.
All right, 6.4 Bassett Street definitive subdivision, board signatures required for lot release.
All right, I'm gonna pass the sheet around. Sign above your name. We already voted on
We already
this
voted
before.
last meeting, yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna have to get, I don't know, I was gonna ask Amy. We only have, I'll have to get the other members in to sign it that aren't here.
All right, they'll sign it, we can hold them to it.
0.5.
Okay, 6.5, Montezuma Regional Planning Commission, representative, board nominated Dean Valier on 5/18/26 for a representative for July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2027 term. This is the second reading.
That's it.
Congratulations again.
You there again?
That's it.
Are we done?
That's it.
Give me my pen back.
Oh, yeah, give him his pen back. If you don't have your own pen, you shouldn't be here.
Stop calling me Dean.
I'm just sorry.
6.6. Tick-tock,
Sorry, Jason. How many times did I call you Dean tonight?
all night.
I'm sorry, I don't, you know, I'm sorry. I'm not usually not that
Tonight,
stupid.
we have to throw out, because he called me Dean.
You gotta make sure that all of the seconds and the proposals were from Chase. What do you- Oh, yeah.
We've had both those readings
Oh,
today.
what's this?
6.6.
Oh, notary commission, what's
6.6
this?
red.
Is that yours?
Why don't you choose joint transportation committee representative board?
I don't know
Elizabeth
what
Ward.
this is. Do we have, we don't know.
5/18/26 for a representative for July 1st, 2026 to 20.
Oh, you taking over?
June 30th, 2027, term, second reading.
Second reading for Elizabeth, right?
Congratulations again, Elizabeth.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Montrose Joint Transportation Committee. Did you,
No, sir, I already did it.
board, okay. So it's already, second reading is done. Tom did read it. I heard him over here.
I heard it.
Okay, 7.0, Planning and Development Director's Report for August 17th. 6.1.1, Legislation for Housing, State and Federal, August 6th webinar for APA, Joint Committee with City Council.
That's a couple of things in there, but I did go to a seminar. There's a sheet, a fact sheet in front of you if you want to take it home and read it about the federal legislation. Claire's here. I didn't know, I think there was a letter from the mayor saying he wants a joint committee with city council on this matter. Did the council make any moves to start that committee?
Yeah, no.
They haven't yet. We'll stand by for that. Next, housing production plan, introduction and update. We're gonna do a survey in the next month for this. It's gonna go out on social media and all the city, mediums. And then there's gonna be an update probably at the beginning of October, on October 5th for this.
On
Where a presentation's gonna be
6.1.2,
made.
correct? Housing Production Plan?
Yes.
Should actually be 7 dot, not 6, but.
Yeah, all right, $7, thank you.
Oh, are we
Thank you.
had a glitch,
Thank
yep,
you, Dean. I called him Dean too, see?
thank you,
We gotta hide
computer
the D name.
glitch. Regional Housing
Oh,
Symposium.
wait, 6.1.3.
7.1.3 Regional Housing Symposium, we're moving forward on this. We're gonna have some exciting updates soon. I don't wanna speak before the committee meets, but there's a possible date change because of conflicts with schedules, and make it in the late winter, early spring, instead of in the fall, because there's a couple other things going on. Then the next is planning board.
6.1.4.
7.1.4, planning board signature authority. Stephanie worked hard and got Eric signature authority, so he just signed already. He was authorized to do that.
Congratulations.
And then,
For
our
you.
7.1.5.
Hold up, 7.1.5.
Yes. Intern update, Corners Bedelli, documents digitization. We passed all the agendas and meeting minutes, and now we're moving on to other documents.
She's still working.
She's still working forward.
How much longer, Elizabeth?
We have her until December, but there are some other departments that have some needs, like the city council. And we were gonna, the clerk was gonna, also maybe utilize her.
Okay. 8.0, executive session, 8.1, none. And 9.0, it's you.
It's you.
I'm the chair tonight.
Oh, yeah, okay. I make a motion to adjourn.
There you go, nice. And motion made by Tom, seconded by Jason.
If I could ask
Hungry.
everybody, take the,
hungry.
anything that's continued, take with you. 396 Main Street, maybe?
Yeah, well, I'm taking it all
And then
because
can we, not leave papers and then put the
I'm leaving,
name
it. Is
tags?
this,
Put 'em
Claire,
all
this is your
in
seat,
Claire's.
right? I'm gonna leave
Can we
everything
turn the
right here.
city council nameplates to
Let's
up?
make sure all the,
They got mad at us from last time.
They were polite enough to let us use their room. I don't wanna